This video is powered by LearnToPlay.live, the only hardware synth performance course. Register now and enjoy 40% off. A question came up by one of my LearnToPlay.live students, and the question was pretty cool actually. How would you use Toploops? How would you create them? And what is their purpose? So today I thought, let's just do a video about it. Why not? So, creating percussion loops that will actually work. That's going to be today's video. You ready for it? Let's go do it right now. Hey yo, what's up? I'm in the kitchen and thank you for checking out yet another video. Now, if this is your first time here, don't hesitate to click subscribe and hit that notification bell. Whenever I upload a new video, you'll be kept in the loop and you'll not miss out on anything. Stick around till the end of this video. I will tell you about LearnToPlay.live. I will tell you about ADE, and there's much news, so stick around. Percussion loops. I do use them because it makes me flirt with the outside world. I've said it many a time before. When you use boxes like an Octatrack, you have the ability to use samples, and using sample means you can stick loops as well as drum sounds. Now, when you use a drum computer, old school, like a 909, 808, whatever, it will give you a certain feel of a certain area, and it's very romantic and it's cool and it's very retro, but at the same time, it does not always sound like sounds out there today in today's market. So a means to use is the almighty top loop or percussion loop or whatever. But how do you make them work? Now, I'm going to actually make them from scratch because I make them from scratch. I told you before, I am a hybrid producer, meaning I will use the DAW to create sounds that I will use within my live set, the best of all worlds. No debate about digital or analog, just what works, and what works is how we're going to use it. So today I'm actually going to go to the live set, create something simple, bass, clap, hat, and then nothing else. Go to the DAW, show you my process of working on sounds, how I create loops, cut up loops, why certain elements are in the loop, and then export it back to the live set, and then we're going to actually embed it into a track. So it's going to be a lengthy video. Buckle up, feast your ears on it, and let's go do it. Yeah! On the desk, we've got a few things. There's a mixer, which is a EPM 8 by Soundcloud. It's breaking down. I've conveniently labeled everything so you know what is what. This can also go off because we need it, so I'm going to put it over here so it makes sense what's happening. The stereo output is the stereo output of the Octatrack. The Octatrack is a Groovebox sample mangler. We're going to use it in a different way today, because I've got this stereo output connected to the Acid Box 3, so I can filter down whatever happens on the master main out of the Octatrack. The kick is coming out of the Q out, so that's a separate kick that's sitting on track 1, the yellow fader on the far left. That is the kick drum that I can alter here if I wanted to. It's a set it and forget it kind of thing, not that I want to use it, but the faders are crackling already, so I'm going to do that differently. On the Octatrack, which is a MIDI mode now, you see there's nothing engaged. And then the MIDI guitar is also getting MIDI from here, so I'm playing MIDI here. I can play this, and this is connected to the Strymon Black Sky sitting right here, on which I can also do certain things, so that bass that I can play here, which is easy peasy. Okay, so then you know how I've set this up. Bass does a TB03, and it all is being triggered by the multi-clock. So it's simple. Multi-clock is the boss of the operation when it comes to tempo. Then it sends out a clock to the almighty Octatrack, and then in turn everything runs together. What do we need to start this thing? First, we have to look at the sounds first. When I talk about let's create a groove, it sounds a little bit simpler than it is. There's a lot that goes into it, and I will go over those things today, so pay attention. Listen, first, we're going to look at the kick. Our kick drum, this is one that's available on patreon.com/analogkitchen. Speaking of patreon.com/analogkitchen, there is a new version of the DAWless Bible uploaded with 3 additional chapters in it, so it's well over 100 pages at the moment. Go and check it out. I put a lot of work into it. DAWless Bible available. You can find it on patreon.com/analogkitchen. As well as this kick. because this kick is a kick that I've used. If you follow the channel, you know about it. Now, why I like it so much is because it is a cool kick that works on most systems that can accompany a little bit of a boom. Now, kick drum, we're on 126 BPM, the clock is running. We're going to actually add in a clap. Now, I'm going to keep it that simple. Track 1, kick. Channel 1, kick. Track 2, we're going to go for a clap. Now, this clap is also coming out of a loop, but I've edited it. So if I'm going in, you can see that if I scroll out, I don't know if you can make it out on the camera, but there are a lot of claps, and it's a loop. So I went to the second to last page, I turned loop mode off and time stretch off so that I can just play the sample, and it will play as a one shot unless I tell it differently. So that means that going in, it means that if I'm going to zoom in, if I'm altering the end of the sample, you'll hear more reverb coming in. And reverb is nice if I want to space it out, and if this was the only sound that I was using it together with something simple, but I don't want too much character on this sound because it's lazying up my beat, right? I need this reverb to stop before the next kick is going to come in. Boom, bam, bam. So I'm going to even make it shorter. This is more house. This would be a little bit more progressive. You can make it more techno. So also the design of the sounds will determine what kind of a sound or genre you will be making. Okay, now we've got our 2 and 4s. 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's how we call the 2 and the 4. But obviously in 16 steps, it will be step 5 and step 13. Okay, with the kick being on the 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Being 1, 5, 9, and 13 in step programming language. Now what we need is a hat. We're going to use a hat which is sitting on track 3, and this is an interesting one. Again, I've altered up a loop. And what you can hear is that this one hat consists of 2 sounds. There's an initial sound in the beginning, and then there's a little bit of a tail that does vedup, 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 which is cool. Because if I take that off, you get basic, but there's a little bit of wooden clays. A little bit too much people that can dance wooden clays music. We don't like wooden clays music. So it's going to be something that we are actually going to, leave there. Coming from, again, from a hip-hop background, this is what happens when you sample off records. If you can get something to, to hang off your sample, to give it a little bit of character, that will be cool. Now, I'm going to go to my DAW, and I'm going to create loops that have to go in here, because this is the next step. Now that I've got my boom, my clap, and my hat, I know I need stuff. I can put that stuff in the octave track, which is exactly what we're going to do. So let's head over to the DAW and let's create some loops and see if we can fit them in order to work them. I think that the top loops will determine what genre or what song you're going to make. So if I've got different top loops, I will use one combination of grooves for one track, one song, one little piece of live that I can use to, maybe play for 5 to 10 minutes and then switch to another top loop, leave my clap, maybe the clap will change or the hat will change as well. But you can really go a long way with this one groove. And then I'll make 2 grooves and see how we can fit them in so you can get an idea of how one groove works and how another groove works. Let's go. This is my work space on Studio One, on which I'm going to just keep it fairly simple. Now, I like to prepare my stuff beforehand. You heard what I did on the live set. Now I'm going to see if I can look for something that I can stick in the mix that will help the groove propel forward. I'm going to make a few so that you can see that if I swap to a different track with the loops, that the track will change, but not really the beats will change. This is a trick. So you can actually use the same drums, but have the feeling of a new track. So this is easy, and it's going to help you with transitioning into a different track. So I've conveniently created a few folders on the side of my Finder so that I can easily find what I'm looking for. So in terms of inspiration, sometimes you don't really want to make music. It's cool to just like prepare beforehand for when you have inspiration, so you don't have to look for everything else. So this is how I set it up. So neurodivergent as I am, I can be all over the place when it comes to making music. I'm pretty meticulous with trying to organize because I don't have a lot of time. And if I spend time on creating music, I would like to make music and not look for music, which is very frustrating. So what I have is I've got some Toploops sitting here, courtesy of an old pack that I found, and it says DP, it means Deep Perfect. Nice label out of Italy. I've got some Toploops sitting right here from a different pack. Sounds like this. Because I find that the Toploops coming out of the Deep Perfect pack are very 2 and 4 driven, meaning that everything is focused around claps. As the style at that specific time, I think a few years ago, it was a little bit based around these claps all the time. So playing it. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 1, 2, 4 here. And what I also try to avoid, I want to avoid adding in too much tonal information. I'd like to avoid that as well, because I'd like to do that with the synths that I have on the live set. And if I've got tonal information, I'll be set and stuck to a chord scheme, and it limits my flexibility when performing live. So this is the process that goes before that. Okay, let's see what we have. Nice hat. And I'm trying to look for little elements that it will all add up. You'll see. I'll just Lego jigsaw it together. I like this little clicky in the beginning. Drag it in. Just drag it in. And you see I will time stretch it. As you can see, there's a little, on my mouse, there's a little clock. And if you look where it was, it's not aligning to the loop here. So if I would play the loop, it would sound like this. You hear that it's jumping, so obviously we're going to, bam, you know, set it to the grid. So now it's, bam, there it goes. So that's cool. Now, the trick that I use, I'm going to give it away. I don't care what everybody else says. A lot of people are like, no, you're giving away all these tricks. This little transient shaper plugin that I've got right here is the lifesaver of all lifesavers. It's by Shock Industries, or Shock, what is it? Shock Technologies. And I like it. Shock Audio Technologies, because it's the transient shaper. Listen to this. Now, in between these transients you see here, transients being the articulation, see all the points. Listen to what happens. Now, if I want to have more loops in here, this height is going to be too long. And I'm not going to cut it up. Like, go in and cut the hi-hat and, you know, envelope it up here in the top. And, you know, this is just tedious work. And then you have to just like get it out of snap so that it doesn't snap to the grid. And then you have to, you see, and now I've got a shorter head. And if I have to do that for this loop and next loops to come, I'll be sitting here like forever. So what is the trick to use? Listen to the loop. And listen to the transient shaper. When I engage the release here. Nice and snappy. That's what we want. Cool. So now that we have it, now we can hear a little bit, we can clearly find out what is what. I told you, Deep Perfect loops, I'm trying to avoid the 2 and the 4, so obviously I'm going to engage N, and then you see that my cursor is, you know, it's snapping to these lines. With N, it really doesn't, so it goes everywhere, which is nice if you want to do stuff that's not quantized, but you know what, we're making dance music, you need to dance to the beat, not around the beat. So I'll clearly take out this one, which is a bam, bam, do that again. Now, I'm not going to sit like forever because I already know it's doing the exact same thing for 4 times, so You can go away. Thanks for playing. Okay, now I'm going to hit P, which means I'm going to just like engage this loop that I've got right here, and I'm going to take care of this 2 and the 4s right here. So, which is this? I got the wrong thing, obviously. Now, and what I'm going to do is just a simple trick. I'm going to reverse, and maybe I'm going to take this out. And just copy this. And now a very important part is making sure that the cadence and velocities work differently. You have to do that by changing the audio, right? So a reverse is a weird sound when it comes to rhythm. And it's all right, but you know, it's not too loud, but it will take a lot of attention away from where you want it to go. So it's going to make an accent. If I want an accent, then I'll leave it this loud now. I'm going to go in and have it subtle. I don't want 3 hats towards the end here as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can cut this up, but I'm going to add more loops in. Now, as you saw, I got all these loops sitting right here. This is one loop out of this. I've got another top loop back over here. Let's shut this up and listen to what we have. This is not too bad. Okay, I like the 909s here, so I'm going to stick this in as well. First, do the same thing. Look at how the loop is. This one is stretched exactly to the beat. Let's listen to what we have if we play them together. Now this is a nice clap. It's not sitting on the beat, but I don't care because you can see it here. If I'm going to exaggerate, look, this is where the bar is and this is where it is. So it's shuffled a little bit, which is cool. But I like it, but I don't want to have it playing the whole time. So I'm going to cut this one out. I'm going to see, can I stick it on a different measure? Which means let's take out this one. No, okay, no, not yet. Let me cut this off right here. Cut this off. All right, so it's gone. Jump monkey. Okay. See how this, now what I can do is find a spot a little bit later maybe. That's too early. I think I can stick it in the beginning because so then we get a boom bam. So I'm going to stick it there on this second spot right here, right? Fix it here. It's a little bit too crazy again, so I will swap those around. Which means this one will go. And we need something to go here, right? I think that we can add, and we'll get something out of another loop. Maybe even see what this does if we add this in. Then we get nah. It could work, but so what I've done now is I've altered this clap. This clap is exactly the same. This clap is exactly the same as this one, although this beginning part, that sound, I have chopped it off. So what's happening is that you get like this. Now, I'm thinking call and response when I'm thinking of creating these grooves over the top, right? So it means that if I'm looking at this part 1, 2, 3, and 4, let me just like 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is how the beat is set up. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Maybe we can do this. I'm going to instantly start with a shuffle. I'm going to put it on 40%, which means that now this line also moves over. You see? See where it was? It's here, but this line now has to go here. And that means that everything not on the 1, 2, 3, and 4 gets to lean in a little bit. Let's see. Nice. Now I think I can do something here on the second part of the groove. I'm not going to make it too full because otherwise I'm going to overcrowd it. Now I've got a shaker loop, but that shaker loop is going to fill up a lot of space. That's not what I want, so I'm going to go for a tom loop. I also got toms. Let's quiet this up and then listen. This could work. Because the other ones are a little bit tonal, this is more of an effect. So I'm going to stick it in. Of course, I'm not going to use everything. I'm going to see, is it quantized to the beat? Yes, it is. So I'm going to also cut it off right here. And then this should be interesting. And we're going to do some sound processing on this as well. Now, since it's coming blatantly out of the pack, we need to just alter the sound and make it a little bit more custom. So I'm going to say, okay, but it's simple. Nice. I like that effect on the back. So this is coming from old school sampling from records. There was a lot of debris that just came with the loops and we just left it on because where we had a lot of noise and used noise gates back in the days, now it's so clean you have to actually use saturation and distortion to make it work. Now I said I was going to just see if I can do something with this sound, so I'm going to put it in solo and listen. I think it's cut off a little bit too steep, so I'm going to take it out of quantize and open it up, which means you hear the click is gone. This is what I like about this program, so envelope it up a little bit. I think this can benefit from a little bit of my transient shape here as well, so here. This is when I exaggerate it, which could also be nice, but nice and snappy because I want space. The space, groove is not the notes being played. Groove is the space in between the notes. You have to really understand this concept. And if you know how to do that, your boxes also align, but sometimes they don't. When you work with live tabletops or even in your modular, you'll find that sometimes the timing is going to be off. So the more you leave space in between notes, the better it's eventually going to sound. And if the speaker doesn't have to work too hard to reproduce your sound, it probably is going to work well for you. Okay, so check this out with the rest of the drums. I'm going to take out the second tom because I think the second tom is taken. It's like a spoiler. Bam. Bam. So we can do something there. I'm going to make use of a shaker that is going to answer the call and response. Oh, this is a nice one. Found a nice one. I'm going to stick it in the groove. I'm going to stick my quantize on. Lower it. I can hear that it's not really aligning. But that's not the problem because it doesn't matter because it's only going to play here. I'm going to cut it off and get it sitting on the groove because no. Okay. So I'm going to go in. take it out of, you can see it here on top of the screen here. If I'm going to I think this part is on the beat. Back on groove, back on, okay, 3. But this is not. So this one needs to go over a little bit. There you go. Dabba dabba dab. Same thing. Transient shaper. A lift. Yeah. And then you space it out. So maybe this can be going to the right a little bit. This can go to the left a little bit. And once you think you sort it, that's when you say, like, you know what? Let's render it out. We're going to do that. We call this loop 1. We call this AK top loop 1. And then we've got our first top loop done. All right. Boom. The signal is a little bit over. Are we going to delete it? No, we love it. So now our loop is, so that's our loop again. Nice, cool. We folded this thing up because we're going to make another one. So I'm going to say folder, back folder, bam. I'm going to mute it. Same thing. I'm going to do that quick fast with another loop so you can see how the process goes. First, I'll find a basic loop out of the first pack, which was the perfect loops. Let's, what have we got here? This. Take it in, put it in there. Oh, come on. I want to see the whole page. Stop screwing around. Come on, you can do it. Bam, there you go. So, okay, this one is not aligning, so we see that. Align it to the grid. First, put it, the grid on. Bam. So now it's snapped to the grid. What's this? There. Now I'm looking for this. Da, da, da. So, and I'm going to start with that. So I'm going to turn it around. Turn the loop around. Really? Okay. Yes. Okay. Put it here. Mute it. Say. Tick tick. Let's see. Cool, nice. Okay, yes, I know what I'm going to do. Hit that down up, the pop up. So there's a little bit of a groove here. Ba-ba-da-pop-pop. Even play it on the beginning, maybe. It's a bit subtle. Let's, I'm just going around. So let's place this on. No, let's get out of there. That's cool. No. That. Okay, yes, place this on the one. Here you gotta. Reverse it. Okay. Another trick I'm going to use is use the setter, which is, I love this plugin. Why? Because it's a multi-band distortion. Listen to what happens. Well, there you are. Well, you can set different things for different bands. So of course it's going to be louder. We turn it down a little bit. But this is our main loop that we're going to start looking at. I'm going to look at a different loop here. Out of the different pack, obviously. Nice. I hear something here. Yep. Okay, and this hat that I've got, ooh, this is a nice looking hat. But we want this hat to sit on a different count. Okay, let's see what we can do. Take this out. Nope, that's too much. Cool. Now let's see what we can do with our toms. Cool, nice. Okay, this is going to be very progressive. I'm going to bump, yeah, don't worry. Of course, I'm going to take this over here and cut this off. Nice. Nice. Nope, this needs to go like so, because I need to copy it. Come on. Maybe one here. Nope. Cool. Now this is a little bit too bright, this tom, so I'm going to use a little bit of EQ. Let's save this what I have. So it means that this will place on natural phase, and then this goes in like so. This I'll delete. You can go away. Move your eyes, man. Disable delete. This one needs to go. It's just a little bit of a heartbeat kind of vibe that I want. And then I'm going to exaggerate it with the 7, obviously. So I'm going to look where the frequency is. I'm going to space out the bands. This first one is not on the beat. There you go. And because everything is shuffled, I can hear that this is not. So this one is coming in too fast. You can see it also. There you go. Bop, da, ba, da, bop. It's A little bit of a shaker. Let's put a shaker over the top so that we know that it's going to be a little bit more heavy. Shakers are going to make it a little bit more powerful to go later on in the night. So this could be a warm-up kind of session type groove, but we want a little bit more aggression. So I'm going to go in and say shaker. Which is a nice one, but we're going to alter this shaker as well so that it does a little bit more groove. So you got tack, 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 tack. See, we need to add in, we're going to go in surgically. Oh, can I tell you I hate green? I hate green. So, I don't like green. Green, I really hate it. Get out of here. Okay, so, this, I'm going to borrow this little shake right here. Cut up. Nice. So it's going to be on 30. No, maybe I can just go and make it a 32. So then I've got an extra little bar right here. There you go. Nice. Nice. And this one can be double. Double, please. Okay, hang on. Place this back on 16. Okay. Wow, we can leave it there for now. Cool. Same thing. Where is my transient shaper? It's here. Give it a little bit more attitude by screwing it up. And turn it around because the hierarchy of how plugins work is also important. So transient shaper, Saturn, let's turn it around, right? So that it's going to does a lot. Cool. Second loop done. I can do this like forever, but for sake of this video not running into oblivion, let's make sure that we're going to also pack this one up. So we say pack folder. Which is here. I'm going to back this up. Back folder, like so. Yes. Oh, nice. It's red. Cool. And then got this off. Don't need this towards the end. So now we've got this loop. And now we've got this loop. Cool, right, so I'm going to now say, this is also a loop that I need to export. So I'm going to say export Toploop 2. Bam! So now that we've got our groove going, kick, clap, and hat, on track 4, I have embedded the loops that we've just made. 4 is the one loop, and 5 is another loop. Let's stop this thing and let's listen to what we have. Engaging track 4, it means that if I'm going to go in here, or maybe I'll do it differently. I'll just open them up. So the loop is, if I'm going to go to my slots, right? That's the loop that we've just created. Nice. And 5 is. And I can hear you think, how is this now going to work within the groove? Let's try that first loop on 4 and 5. Usually, I'll do this in different banks. So bank A would have this one loop, and bank B would have another loop. So you will switch there, because one bank, it's just easier. So with the banks, I've only got one bank because just for sake of this video, but you can have 16 banks, and then that's how I usually space up my tracks. 16 different slots for the TB03, so I can initially make 16 303 tracks with different patterns, and then I'll go to a different vibe with a different loop, different sound, maybe a different bass line also on a different bank, so then you know how you can transition into a different track. I hope that it starts to make sense now. So the thing that I didn't do yet is create a bass line, because that is what we're going to do now, because now we get to the point where we can actually fit stuff together and see how this is working out. So let's engage the multi-clock, and we've got our kick. Our clap. 1. Dun, 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 bum, bum. And of course, our hat. And remember what I did in the beginning? I could take out the kick. I can completely eliminate it. When I do that, I'll go to the filter and I play it. Now it's completely gone. It's still playing. But I need a little bit of, you know, of character still. Bam. So nice. And then if I want to make a bigger impact, let's try that. We're going to filter this down. Bam, bam, bam. Nice. So now we're wielding with 2 hands. Looks nice, looks sexy, and you're actually doing something. Cool. Let's play our first loop in and see how that works. Right? Just gonna go in and play it. And now you have to level it up. So I'm gonna go to track 4. That's where it is. Let's take this out. Go to the amp page. This is our loop. Nice, right? Cool. First, I'll play this in solo. Then I'll play the kick with it. And I need to make sure that it's not in the way of the kick. With the clap. And make sure that my hat is going to sit on top of it. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, this is my first song. Okay, now I'm gonna dress it up by engaging the MIDI. So all the red buttons is audio, all the yellow buttons is MIDI. I have to go to a different page. So with my axe, I'm gonna axe this octave track in half, and then now we're on a MIDI page. I have placed the octave track in chromatic mode. I've sorted out the channel where I want to be in the MIDI channel. That's all stuff that I'm not going to get into today, but just cool. And I'm going to take the kick drum as a lead for where the chord is, right? Boom, boom. Now, a rule of thumb to make sure, let's go back out, I'll take this out, is first I'm going to play this bass line and I'm going to avoid the 1, 5, 9, and 13. So I'm going to avoid these kicks because I don't want to have transients playing when the kick is playing. So I'm going to, instead of I'm going to play let's try that. Playing half a note lower because I see that I've accidentally I think I need to go in. Copy this one, I'll place it here. So there. Yeah, it was Cool. Now I'm liking this bass line, right? I'm gonna take out a bit of the reverb and look at the sound first. I want this to sit in the groove already, so. Ooh, nice. Cool. Cool, yeah, okay, cool. So what I'm going to do, add a little bit of reverb here. And if I did not screw it up, this loop that we have should really fit in there. There you go. Nice. Okay, one thing missing. Let's play in the TB03 and pitch it to where it needs to go, right? Nice. So there you go. That's the first groove. Let's find out how our second groove is going to work. Yeah? Okay, let's do it. Same thing. Take out the bass drum because the bass line is, you know, I can go to track 2 on my MIDI page, which is here. Do the same thing. I'll double click it here. I have to say channel 3 because I already know it's channel 3. I'll say engage. So now I can even set a program change here so that it will play a different preset if I wanted to. And the Minitar comes with a nice piece of software, so you can also edit sounds and you can store them on here and then address them through program change. So next track, you can actually play that. While I'm staying, this is happens if you switch banks. We're not switching banks at the moment, so we're staying in the same bank. So I'm actually going to just play a different bass line according to the different loop that we have. First, let's go out of here. First, let's say, okay, let's play what we have. And let's listen to that second loop that we had. That was a little bit more busy, remember? So there's low end information here. I like the triplet that I have on the shaker that does something. So with my clap. And now for this loop, I'd say, not now, but usually I'll take a different clap. Because the clap is, in my opinion, a little bit too long. So let's set a sort of like middle ground. Yeah, and let's amp it up or amp it down. I hear beep beep beep, so. Let's not make it too busy. Let's see what happens. Okay, go in. Of course, it's not going to play because I didn't turn it on yet, because it's sitting on track 10, which is the second MIDI channel. And then 2, 3, play. Nice. Yeah, I'm liking this. So now you got a completely different vibe, and obviously we're going to see if we can play something with the TB03. Woo. There you go. Nice. Open this up. Now, obviously, it opens up to a lot more possibilities, rides, claps, more percussion. I wanted to make it fairly simple so you understand how we're going to go about this kind of stuff, right? Okay, well, thanks for watching. Try it out and let me know in the comment section how this works out for you. That's my process, that's how I do it. Let me know in the comment section how you are working it. If you want to get more out of this, you might just enroll. There's still a few spots left on learntoplay.live. We're actually doing a few masterclasses that are going to start next week. And the masterclasses are going to be fourth. They're going to be four masterclasses. And then it's ADE, the Amsterdam Dance Event, which means we will do our own event. We'll do it at Akhenaton. Starts at 3 in the afternoon and runs up until 4 in the morning. We've got confirmed Maiden, she's going to play, Circo, Tomo. It's going to be interesting. And during the day, it's going to be an industry function because obviously we won't like to explain to you what it is that we do. A lot of our Learn to Play.live teachers are going to be there as well as students. We're going to do a jam, so it's going to be interesting during the day, and then slowly but surely it goes into a, you know what I mean, shindig. We'll team up with Raw Industries Berlin as we did with Superbooth. So it's going to be cool. That's the Wednesday at Akhenaton, Amsterdam, close to Central Station, during the ADE. Now, Learn to Play.live, it is the platform where I will teach you, amongst other teachers and peers and colleagues, on how you should look at different things when you perform. Do you need a lot of gear? No, most definitely not. But it's the attitude on which you will gain and grow and, grow a lot of different skills, because the more information you have and the more flexible you are and the more you can look at your live set as a tool, an instrument, an electronic orchestra, the better it's going to work for you. Now, why did I think this course was important? The amount of times that I shat my pants because I literally did not have any information, but I stood there. That started way back when I had to do an interview for MTV. I never did an interview in my life before. I winged it, was cool, the interview is still up there. Riff Master of Quadrophonia explaining how, but if nobody tells you, it's very nerve-wracking. And I've had a lot of those nerve-wracking moments. Playing to 40,000 people, nobody explained anything. Playing to radio shows, TV shows, and nobody told me, think of this, or, and the best thing is, when people teach you something, they tell you, you have to do this. Every course that I see out there is about, you have to do this. Well, I'm going to tell you, stay away from this and don't do this. So pretty much what this course is going to be different from other courses, how this course is going to be different is I will probably tell you the mistakes that I've made and how you should avoid them. That's one thing. And I don't think it's great if you have too many questions and no answers. That's just nerve-wracking. It takes the fun out of performing. And if this is you, then Learn to Play Live is going to be your one-stop shop. Don't be overwhelmed. It's going to be cool. I will record videos. I will do the interviews with the mentors. And my Discord is alive and kicking. If you are in there, you already know. This community is one of the greatest on the internet when it comes to figuring out stuff. So all the students, there's a few Learn to Play Live students that also found their way into the Discord. Every Friday night, I'm there. After this video premiere, I will be in the Discord and I will be talking to, everyone. So you can ask me stuff and it's just easy. So it's cool that there's a place where you can be you and you can try whatever you want to do and you can make mistakes, and it's safe to just try stuff out. I've thrown my all into it. I've been in this game for such a long time, but I've never really opened up in terms of why do I think this is important to do? I did it because it's my job, and I did it because I felt I had to do it. It's some sort of a calling. But when people start to ask you questions, that's what I see in this industry as well. I understand you have to safeguard certain things. You can't just throw out all the information all the time because you will not give away your secret. But after so many years in this industry, still being here, I'm not really afraid that anybody is going to just like run away with ideas and stuff. I think it's cool to share. I think it's cool that you should also figure out certain things. And if you don't agree, you'll probably find something that's going to work for you. If you agree, you're also going to find something that's going to work for you. So, okay. End of this long story. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far into the video, you, sir, or ma'am, are an absolute superstar. My name is Analog Kitchen. Do check out learntoplay.live. And anything else, I'll be there next week with another video. So, but for now, I'm out. Peace.